Habertürk.com'dan herkese merhabalar. Los Angeles Filarmoni, Buenos Aires Filarmoni gibi büyük ve prestijli topluluklarda yer alan Arjantinli müzisyen Luis Bravo tarafından kurulan ve yönetilen Forever Tango, İş Sanat'ta izleyiciyle buluşuyor. Yanımda ise konuğum Luis Bravo var. So, Mr. Bravo, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
So, tango is described as Argentina's most important cultural heritage, and it's one of them, at least. So how do you and your team preserve and promote the heritage through your show and performance?
Well, good evening. Let me start saying that I'm very grateful just to be here, and thank you for the invitation to bring me and my company to this wonderful culture, to this wonderful country. I think there's nothing that can describe an Argentinian more than tango. We have to, and tango is not just the music and the dance. Tango is a whole culture, it's a idiosyncrasy that it has in the music, its artistic expression, and the dance, the interpretation of that music. It comes from many influences and heritage we receive from different communities that came to live in Argentina at the end of the 19th century. People from Spain, people from Italy, people from Germany, people from England, Jewish people, Gypsy people, all kind of people, they came. And then we received a huge immigration after the First World War and the last biggest immigration after the Second World War, where Argentina was isolated from the world because we didn't join the war. So we were forced to create our own customs, our poetry, our music, and probably it was the most prolific, time of our country. And as I said, that there is nothing more than better than tango to describe an Argentinian, because in spite of being a very young country in a certain way, we are very unstable emotionally in every way, because we're receiving all these influences from different cultures that came not only with the language, their religion, their music. We are creating this anonymous creation in a society, with the new society in the port of Buenos Aires, with no standards, because it was, every trying to legitimize their position in that new country, in that new community, and it was kind of it's a mixture of a European, Argentina, natives from the country. So that's why I would say that, those peoples that left their home behind from Europe, they were homesick in many ways, and they were not happy people. They were leaving their families behind, their loves behind. That's why this music that was created in the surrounding of the society, which is in the brothels, but it was the social place where all the community used to get together to make friends, not only for their sexual activities. It was to make friends, to play cards, and to dance this new music. So the music had a mournful sound. Tragedy is in there, very melancholic, very sarcastic. Argentinians are very sarcastic. They always speak in second intention, third intention. So, and we receive so many influences in this new society. Then came the tango. But the tango was a forbidden dance because it was danced by a man and a woman. So these men, they were dancing with the prostitutes. But Argentina, and finally arrived the bandoneon, which is the German instrument that you play tango with. But it was created to play Bach in the marching bands. But what the Italians did with this instrument is amazing, because it's so melancholic, mournful. It's such a deep sound, and it's a very special instrument. For me, I'm a cellist. I think it's the most perfect instrument because it has the harmony of a piano, the expression of the string instrument, but it has a huge other aspect. It breathes. It breathes. So it's an extremely expressive instrument. And all this music mixed together, also with the rhythm for the Caribbean, slaves that came to, from the Caribbean, African rhythms. It was a mixture of everything. It gave as a result this anonymous creation that was the tango. But then came the lyrics. In the most romantic era of tango, in the golden age, I would say, on the 40s. The poetry in tango has certain subject characters, very romantic. But then in the 60s, the social changes in the country started to reflect those changes. And those lyrics became more, talking about the social problems in there. And of course, as a living art, as a living expression, art expression, it suffers the evolution of the artist that created with. And I think just to give an expression, or to give a definition of what a tango is, I think it's probably one of our biggest writers, Enrique Santos Discépolo, gave it. He says, it's a sad feeling that you dance. So I think, audience, what you're going to see today probably is the most pure expression of our culture, which is the tango.
And you also have a saying that tango is a story you tell in 3 minutes, and the tango is more than just the music. It's a drama, it's a culture, and it's a way of life. And what about the selecting part? I mean, how do you select all those music and the choreography? It's a huge thing. So for your shows, how do you select the music? What elements do you add?
We have to put under consideration probably the main subject, which is I'm a musician. And the music is the base of everything. And being a musician, out of the fantasies or the emotions created and inspired by the music, what I do, I put the humanity of the dancers between the orchestra and the audience. So the interpretation is not just a dance. You'll see tonight the dancers are almost actors. And when you create, for example, and as a musician, when you write a symphony, when you create a symphony, you pace it. You have different movement, the changes on the harmonies, and then you pace it towards the end, and you go back to the beginning. You develop the main theme, and then the variations or whatever, and then you get to the epilogue, at the end. This is created the same way. So, and when I created this, I selected the repertoire, taking under consideration the rhythms, the harmony, and then the different momentums and pace, and also on the humanity of the dancers. So it becomes a very entertaining piece, not just a cultural expression and artistic. It's very entertaining. And you'll see, I mean, there's always an explosion at the end with standing ovation, and I don't see why Turkey wouldn't be the same.
And you inspire so many people in the industry and the business.
Thank you.
And on a personal note, who inspired you? I mean, how is tango shaped your life and what it means for you, and who did you inspire?
Well, I left my country when I was 20 years old, after being a cellist at the National Symphony and soloist at the Cologne Theater and the Opera House. And I pursued my career in Los Angeles with the Los Angeles Philharmonic Institute. And then, as a freelance musician, I always said I was concertizing all over the world. But I got to the point that I wanted to, as an artist, or the artist I want to be, I wanted to have my own expression about my culture, something that has to do with my culture, with my own name, my last name. Something that I can be the authority over my product, because it can be better or worse, but it's mine. So in that way, it is, I think, is the most, I would say, honest, honest expression as an art form that I can give about myself to the audience. So what inspires me, I think my own life, being always a foreign outside my country, and we have an expression that belongs to Aníbal Troilo, one of our biggest and wonderful composers. He says, "Don't worry, tango will wait for you." And I think I got to the point that probably I wanted to go back to my roots.
And what advice would you give to the young dancer and musicians who wants to learn tango? I mean, what should they focus on during the learning process?
I think we all have a tango. There's always a tango that fits every single one, no matter the culture that you are from. What I can say to the young people or to the young players is just try to absorb and listen and educate yourself about the culture, about the expression, the artistic expression, because that's what art is about, that's what music is about. Me as a cellist, my cello is not the goal, my cello is just the tool. The music is the voice of my soul, and the dance is the voice of the soul of a dancer. So what I would say, just practice a lot so you can learn the techniques, but then you have to have a story to tell. As we say, it's a story you tell in 3 minutes. It's a dance, it's a sad feeling that you dance. Try to, whatever you do in life, try to be yourself. There are going to be always people that whatever you do, they do it better than you, but not like you. So this is what it's about, tango, identity.
And lastly, I want to talk to you about the Istanbul concerts. At the show, do you have any surprises for the audience? I mean, what awaits the audience at the concert?
They're going to see fantastic dancers. They're going to see fantastic musicians. And the caliber of these performers. And they're going to leave everything on stage. They're going to leave their heart on stage. And I think what's most impact the people, and people recognize it. And you're going to see a show that builds up towards the end. And I'm very sure they're going to have a standing ovation.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you very much for bringing me back to Turkey. I'm very proud, and I'm really looking forward just to see what the Turkish audience is going to be, the reaction is going to be tonight. Thank you.